So the first thing I want to do is I want to start off with my ribbon material, and I'm going to scarf or thin the end. Now I do this on my leg, just so you can see here. And you want to do that for about maybe 2.5 inches. And the only reason you do this is so when you overlap it, you don't have all that bulk. So what I'm going to do, you can see I changed my colors just in case you thought I had screwed up. I put that purple in there, okay? And like I say, I'll do the whole thing, but that would be a long wait for you to wait to see me get all that done. So we push on. So I'm going to use these big clips to hold this in place. And then what I like to do, and you don't have to do this, some people just like to keep the clips on and go. But what I like to do is put, after I get my inner and outer roll, or my inner and outer rim completed, and my rim filler on, and in this case it's going to be a black number 8. Then what I like to do is sandwich it all together by using tie wraps and then lash. Some people don't do that. You don't have to. It just works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and thin this on the, oh, I can't do it on the table. Thin this one for the inside rim. And what I like to do is start on the opposite side of where I was on the outer rim, the inner rim. And you're always trying to minimize bulk, right? So, and then about 2 inches I'm going to overlap. Make that cut. Okay. Now I've had that black number 8 in the water, so I'm going to just real quick wipe off any excess, and then I want to get bleeding on anything. So, and because there's no handle on this, you don't have to butt it up against anything. So I'm going to grab some tie wraps and just sandwich this all together as I go. So, put this at an angle so you can see it better. So what I do is I just take a tie wrap, and I'm making sure that I'm underneath the false rim. And about every 4th stake, I'll do this. And then I will get rid of these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about right there. Opening that up, making sure I'm underneath the false rim. All the way around this to show you. So, making sure everything stays neat and where it should be. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Open that up with a weave right or something similar. And all the way around we go. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put one in here. And then I will get my lasher wet and show you how I start that off and how I lash it. So once again, you can take the time to do all your embellishment before you rim it if you want. That's fine. you can do that before you cut and tuck if you want to do that. But I don't like all this hairiness in my way when I'm working, so I kind of like to tighten it up. Now, if I was not showing this to you today, I probably would not. I do all the embellishment and then I'd rim it, but there's nothing that says that you have to do it that way. So whatever works for you. Okay, so here's my fourth one again. I mean, if you wanted to get real fancy, and I didn't do this because I thought about it on this design, about doing a fancy rim with some cane, and I thought, you know, you get a lot of detail on there just with all those arrows. So I did not do that on this design, but I mean, you could if you wanted. All right, so I'm going to bring this around, and like I do with everything, I'm going to cut it a little bit longer than I think I need, and that way I can trim it up, which I'm going to have to. And still a little bit more. And even yet a bit more. Like I say, it's easier to cut it than try to talk it into growing. Doesn't work that way. All right, so 1, 2. Actually, I'm going to put that one here just because of the location of that overlap. Just to secure that a little bit better. So even though it's 2 stakes, I think it's just a better option. And life is about options, isn't it? Okay. And we're going to come around here. And I'll probably put this right here since that's the end. So, I mean, 4 in theory, but do what you need to do to hold everything together, basically. And once again, you don't have to do it this way. I know Jennah is a proponent of just doing the clips and going. I like to do it this way. So, but whatever. There's no right way to make a basket. There's just options. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to get a lasher. And I'll show you how I lash them up. Alright, so I have my lasher and it's all wet. So when I start, what I'm looking for is, I want to start on a row that does not have a tuck on it. Okay, so like this one doesn't have a tuck on it. So I'm going to trim this up a little bit because it's looking a little ratty. I want to come down in between those 2 rims. Oh, this is hard to see. And I want to come in between that stake and that row of 1/2 inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a U-turn on this. So, and then once I've got that done, I'm going to thread it back up like that, kind of over itself, and that way it won't pull out. And the other thing I do is I try to keep it all the way to one side of the stake or the other. And the reason for this is because that's where I'm going to end it as well. So I want to have room for that. So I'm going to move that over to that side. And it doesn't matter how much I pull on that, I'm not going to pull it out. Let's see if you can see that. Not real well. Okay. So then, this needs to be a relatively long piece of lashing material. Now, you can choose to put this at a point, or you can just keep the way it is. And you are going to lash around all 3 of these components. Now, one of the things that I do is this. I'll go through and like do 3 when one of these guys is in your way, it goes away if I can get it off. Okay, so I will thread through 3 of these. and then I will come back through and tighten it up. Now you don't have to do that. It's just something that works for me, and that way I don't worry so much about getting things twisted. But before you tighten it up, make sure that there aren't any twists in it. The other thing that you can do, if you are concerned about keeping your tension tight, is you can have a clip that follows behind you to hold that for you, so you don't have to worry about that, like this. Okay, and then it just follows along with you. And we are going to keep doing this all the way around. Next to each stake, going around our rim sandwich. How's that? That's nice and tight. I'm going to torque on it. That's what we want. Now, some people like to go all the way around and then all the way back. You sure can do that. I don't, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. So I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'm going to show you how I end it. I have got this all rimmed up, and I'm going to finish it off the exact same way that I started it. So here's this where I started, and I'm going to go down that same hole using my Weave Right tool to open it up a little bit. And I'm going to pull that through. I just want to go down to the 1/2 inch. Down to the 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to pull it through. And then I'm just going to make a U-turn right on top of that and pull it back up. And probably at this point I can cut some of this off. Bring that right back up through there, nice and tight. Trim it off. Okay, and there's your finished basket. Let me pull this up some. Well, it will be when you get all that arrows on it. So that's the start of it. This is what it'll look like when you're all done doing your arrows. And our next batch of classes for the JCB KIT Club will start next fall. So we'll start taking memberships in August, and we'll start sending out kits in, I think, around the 1st of October. So if you're interested, look for the information. It'll be coming out soon, and you can get signed up for our next set. Next time we do these, we'll be doing 6. It'll be a 6-month course in different baskets. And as always, as members of the KIT Club, you'll get a discount off all your kits. So we'll see you next fall. Bye.